By now, you may have noticed that the two loudest, most obnoxious groups of people on the internet, the chuds and the feminists, are basically just mirror images of each other. Two sides of the same delusional coin, engaged in the same bullshit psychodrama. Both are convinced that they're waging some kind of grand ideological war against evil. But in reality, they're both screaming into opposing sides of the same cursed mirror. There's a phrase I want to introduce you to, succinct and beautiful in that it encapsulates where we are in the gender politics war. 6 words. If he wanted to, he would. This is an insanely popular phrase with young women these days. If he wanted to, he would. After all, men have all the money. Didn't you know? Men took all of the money. It's not 1% of men hoarding wealth in a really corrupt system. All the men have all the money. Therefore, your 19-year-old boyfriend who works a 9-to-5 job in a factory, well, if he wanted to buy you a Birkin bag, he would. If he wanted to, he would. The feminist says, smash the patriarchy. The chud says, return to tradition. Return with a V. But both of them are saying the same thing underneath the bravado, underneath the noise. What they're essentially saying is, hey, this world feels fucking fake and hollow and soulless and superficial, and I just want to fucking feel something again. I just want something to be real, to mean something again. Now, of course, they dress it up in different colors. It's neon pastel pink for the feminist. It's camo and siege masks for the chud, but make no mistakes, these two groups are in essence raging against the same thing. They both hate the same monster. It's a kind of soulless, plastic, HR-approved dystopia that we all live in. The problem is that the feminists and the chuds have been trained to hate each other so much that, well, they fail to notice that they're fighting against the same beast. Like two prisoners arguing over who is going to be the alpha in the cell while the warden just watches from the wings, laughing, fucking with the fluorescent lights. Feminists believe that they are oppressed by men. Chuds believe that they are oppressed by women, or at least oppressed by some system in which they don't mog and can't compete. But neither of them realize that they are literally oppressed by the same machine. The same system that sells sex and outrage as subscription models. Feminists blame men for the coldness and clinicalness of modern dating. The chud blames women for the death of love. Neither of them is actually willing to look up and see the glowing monolith that has made intimacy impossible in the first place. The corporate hive mind that has turned affection into algorithm and attention into currency. So the chud retreats to his trad life. He dreams of a wife who will bake him sourdough bread and raise 12 kids under her arm while he posts about testosterone on Twitter. The delusional feminist dreams of a man with a 6-figure salary who also happens to have free time and be emotionally available. A feminist ally who somehow looks like Brad Pitt playing Achilles. Both of these retard groups are living in fantasy land. Both are nostalgic for something that may actually never have even existed. And when they clash, it is not about ideology. It's about envy. Deep, psychosomatic, Freudian penis envy from the ladies and some weird autogynophilic envy from the guys. The truth is, if you can't have a shared myth, if you can't create shared meaning, and let's be honest, modernity murdered the myth, murdered the meaning, then you are kind of doomed to fight and to bicker and to squabble with each other while the elites continue to plunder the countries that they took from you. Both of these groups actually want the same thing. They want order, they want meaning, they want gravity in their lives. They want to stand on something solid in an otherwise gelatinous world. But you can't have meaning without a shared myth. The Chud thinks that he wants to resurrect the patriarchy. But what he really wants is beauty, is a life with some consequence. What he really wants is a world where a woman choosing him matters and it means something cosmic. It's not just an empty platitude of prompts and right swiping. And the woman, the feminist woman today, wants to feel powerful in her body, in her sexuality, in her choices, as if they have some weight to them. Outside of the OnlyFans analytics, neither of these people is going to get what they want because the other group is standing in their way. They're both actually aching for some kind of metaphysics, some kind of gravity. They plug this aching hole in their souls with bullshit internet ideology. Chuds craving masculine order. Feminist idiot poster women talking about dark divine feminine energy. Two halves of the same bullshit delusion. Both sides feel compelled to roleplay mythology because there's no real mythology left. They want meaning, but they end up outsourcing it to influencers who speak in this recycled style of like self-help mantras. Wizard Liz for women. Andrew Tate for men. The feminist says men are trash. The Chud says modern women are whores. Then both of them log off and watch the same algorithmic porn all night and wonder why they feel so fucking hollow afterwards. They hate the same machine, but they worship the same idols. Every Wizard Liz clip, every Andrew Tate podcast has put you in the situation that you currently find yourself in. I kind of am forced to consider this a cosmic joke at this point, because what the feminist calls patriarchy, the Chud calls globo homo. They're both describing the same cold, clinical, managerial system that managed to turn sex and love into cliques. You can retreat into a trad life. You can get the submissive wife who bakes you sourdough bread. It's possible. Just like it's possible for a feminist to find a 6'4", 6-figure rich, spiritually awakened, emotionally available Chad. It's all possible, buddy. But deep down, you don't even want that. Deep down, what you actually want is meaning and gravity. The Chud thinks that he wants the patriarchy back, but what he really wants is a beautiful woman and a beautiful life full of consequence. They're both aching for myth in a mythless world. For him, it's divine order. For her, it's feminine chaos. It's different branding for the same impulse, the same hunger. And if you look at their language, if he wanted to, he would. If you look at protect your energy, high value man, manifest your sigma male. And you want to fucking have a go at me for astrology. This is fucking astrology for gym bros, crypto bros, fucking Etsy witches. Everyone is selling spells. Nobody is practicing magic. If the Chuds and the feminists ever realize that they're actually rebelling against the same thing, the plastic, bureaucratic, spiritually barren machine, well, then they may form a very dangerous alliance. A very dangerous and real alliance for the benefit of European people. In the meantime, I'll keep telling Chuds, like, oh, I met a nice girl, she was very pretty, she was very cool, but then she switched up on me, man. She started saying, like, if you wanted to, you would. I tried to explain to her about, like, you know, how women entering the workforce means that, like, all of our wages have gone down. I tried to explain to her that, like, you know, one man can't really support one woman on his wages anymore. If you tell that to a modern Chud today, he'll just laugh at you and say, duh, you're supposed to provide for your wife. You're supposed. I'm like, bro, you've never been on a date. You've never been on a date. You don't see how you're gonna just end up being the simp foot soldier of feminism. Because you think I need to marry and provide for some fat wife who doesn't work in this economy? It isn't actually a culture war. It isn't actually a gender war. It is a content war. The content has eaten the culture. Feminists end up alone in apartments surrounded by cats and decorated with quartz crystals and empty wine bottles. The chud ends up alone in his podcast studio, decorated with empty creatine tubs. Don't you fucking see what's happening here? You'll both just rant into the void about how nobody understands you. Meanwhile, nobody understands you. The truth is, they do understand each other perfectly. They are the same energy dressed up in drag. Both are terrified of love, because love would require actually doing something. Love would require actually surrendering to something. It's very hard to monetize that. So just posture. She pretends to be a goddess. He pretends to be an alpha, whatever the fuck that is. You know, we used to have gods. You know, we used to serve something higher than ourselves. It's a fucking tragedy, honestly. And a comedy, but mainly a fucking tragedy of the modern world. The Chud-Feminist Alliance already exists. It's just very unconscious. It's just usually 30-year-old women and 18-year-old men ganging up on guys like me who actually get laid. But if you guys decided I wasn't the enemy, and instead decided to look at, I don't know, YouTube and Meta and Google, maybe you'd actually fucking achieve something. The machine laughs at you. The machine doesn't care who wins as long as you're still fighting each other and complaining all the time. The Birkin bag is getting sold either way. Chud-Feminist Alliance.